Don't think healthcare professionals have any business experience? Think again. No topic is off limits as we share tales from our brave hosts who will always tell it like it is. We are #NoFilterHealthcare. Here to guide you through your healthcare journey are your hosts, Taylor Dunn and Tamara Dhanda. We want to thank our sponsor, UptimeHealth, the leading healthcare equipment and compliance management software company, for bringing this podcast to fruition. Visit UptimeHealth.com to learn more. Let's get started.
Welcome to #NoFilterHealthcare. I'm your co-host, Taylor Dunn.
And I'm your other co-host, Tamara Dhanda, and today we are discussing the idea of connectivity and how important it is.
Ooh, that was smooth. I liked that. Yeah, we have been talking about connectivity a lot lately. In our last episode, if you joined us, we kind of recapped 2022, and towards the end of the conversation, we started talking about how so many different things need to be connected, whether it's your devices, or, companies in general need to connect with each other, or even internal departments, and why it's so important for you to make those connections and how it's going to evolve the industry. So that was a smooth transition, Tamara.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think we want to start by talking about the concept of a universal device hub. And this is through our sponsor, UptimeHealth. And this is what they're trying to do, or I guess not trying to do. We're doing it. So it's happening. And if you want to become a part of it, you can always ask to learn more. But I'm going to give you some information on it. So Universal Hub, kind of think about it as you've got all of these different devices made by all of these different manufacturers. And when you're wanting to understand more about those devices, you're either going to have to contact your distributor, whoever your rep is, through the manufacturer, or you're going to have to log into a platform or a system that's going to give you that information. And it's all separate logins, different, views of what's going on with your equipment, things like that. And our concept is we want to be connected to everybody. Back to that idea. Same idea of connection. So through this universal device hub, what we're trying to create is this ecosystem for all of these manufacturers to live in harmony and provide data back to their clients through our platform. And so I know this is heavily, supporting our sponsor, UptimeHealth, but it's also really important to talk about because I think it's going to change the way people are understanding their equipment. And that's been a challenge for everybody in healthcare. I think that, when it comes down to it, you need your equipment to be able to provide the right care to your patients. And so if it's not functioning properly, you're losing your revenue. And that's a huge issue. And for anybody, especially, if some of the equipment you're using, you depend on it to be able to provide care for your patients. So having access to this information, I think, is going to be a game changer. And for the manufacturers and distributors to be able to also get that data back, where they're able to see how their clients are using the equipment and, how often is it breaking down, and they're able to read the same type of data that they're putting in back. So it's definitely a win-win. And we are very excited for it.
Yeah, think about, even just your household appliances. I always use this as an example, but you'll have a certain type of fridge, or you'll have a certain microwave brand, and you'll have a certain stove brand. And then, if you're trying to, let's say, change a filter, and sometimes, even some of the older fridges aren't able to tell you like, oh, you need to change your water filter or certain things like that. But also just like I looked at my, everyone has like a junk drawer, right, in their kitchen, I'm sure. I'm not the only one. Opening up that junk drawer and just like fumbling through papers, like, oh no, like my stove is not working. What am I going to do? Like, who do I even call? And you're like looking at the little tiny little logo with a tiny little serial number, like trying to figure it out. But knowing that like all of the time that you spend trying to figure it out in the first place is something that we want to address as well, because in the hospital or healthcare setting, you're trying to treat patients and you've got certain amount of time slots and you've got to work throughout the day. You can't spend time trying to figure out serial numbers and learning which, company to call and which technician to come out to bring it, because you just don't have the time to do that. So making sure that this hub is universal in that thought, knowing that multiple devices will be in one place makes it so much easier. And so I think, really when it comes down to it, it's the time that you lose out when you're trying to figure out which device is not working.
Right. And that's why we're really looking forward to bringing manufacturers on the show to talk to us, tell us why they care about your equipment data and understanding it and how it helps them become more innovative and come out with that next version of equipment or whatever it is. And so I think it's going to be eye-opening for a lot of people to hear directly from the individuals, the companies that are supporting, the industry through their products. So, and
I think one of like the major concerns with most individuals with data is, oh, they're going to be watching me. It's like, no, we want to watch your device. We want to make sure that we forecast events that, can help you, in the end. When you think about how much money it costs when a device breaks down, like we want to save that headache for you. So knowing that, data is okay and data is good is something that we definitely want to let our listeners know, is that there's so many positive things that come with data collection in general. And so just knowing that these companies are going to take this data and really use it to improve their products and give you something even better next year. And I think that's what it all comes down to. So
yeah. And by the way, if you are afraid of being watched, I think if you own a cell phone, that's already happening. So
yeah. Yeah. I would say our data collection is definitely about making the device better and making these companies know how to be more efficient and how to make a product that will serve you better in the end. And so I think that is really what's important about us and what we're trying to do as well. So
yeah. And to go back to data, I know we also touched on this last episode to kind of gear up to this one. How does data translate into better business practices? So just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit too. When you have the information at your fingertips, and I truly mean at your fingertips, where it's right in front of you on your screen, easily to digest, it helps you from, if you're in the financial department of your business, you're always creating spreadsheets, all the formulas, things that you have to create in order to just understand what's going on in your business. A lot of the information that you need to know to forecast your spend for the following year or whatever you're looking to do, you have more buying power because of this data. You're able to see what you're spending your money on, understand how often your equipment breaks down is huge. To be able to track that at a push of a button, I mean, I'm still mind blown that this exists, that we have the ability to tell you how often your equipment's breaking down, but also to understand repairing versus replacing. I mean, how does this not already exist, or how does not everyone not have this available? Like, I don't understand, because to me, I am just thinking like, I love to know these things without having to put too much effort behind it. Like, I don't want to sit there and create a spreadsheet and analyze all the equipment that we have across every single facility. That sounds like my worst nightmare. But thankfully, that doesn't have to happen. Like, spreadsheets are a thing of the past. Everyone likes easy. I love an easy button in every way of my life. I want an easy button. This is just another layer to be able to help track all the information that you have, and there's no more guessing behind it. So.
Yep. And I'm just super excited that the data is going to give the company the information they need to make a product better. And so from a marketing standpoint, like we want to know, how our consumers and how the people that enjoy our product, like what they think, and what's going to be, better for them in the long run. And I think the podcast is going to open that up too, because we're going to be able to talk one-on-one with these individuals like that are creating the products that you buy. And we can talk to them and be like, hey, we've had suggestions, and there's feature updates that we think you guys should have, or anything like that. And it's just coming back to that same idea of collaboration and connectivity. It's just important across every aspect of the business. And so being able to talk to one another and have your devices talk to one another is just ultimately going to lead to a lot of success. So, I think we're just super excited about innovation and everything that's going on in the industry, but also what we're going to bring to the table as well. So
yeah, and being able to also ask the manufacturers what's coming next. Like, I want to put them in the hot seat and ask what's trending, what can we look for? And, probably a consistent question we'll always ask in our episodes moving forward. And it's related to that hashtag no filter vibe is, what can they say is one of their number one tips for these clients of theirs to make sure that they can get what they need to out of their equipment, or how do they properly support themselves in their clinic to make sure they're getting their money's worth, or, what's a huge mistake that always happens but isn't talked about, and people want to pretend it doesn't happen, but it does, and it's there, and you need to be aware of it, like things like that. Because I think that it's also kind of surprising for a lot of people to hear that maintenance is a leading factor in why your equipment breaks down. I mean, it sounds pretty obvious when you say it out loud, like, hello, if you don't, it's like saying your body, like, if you aren't working out, you're eventually your body's going to just shut down. It's not going to be mobile. And that's kind of what the same concept is in a way. But so one of the biggest things that we always hear from manufacturers when we're talking to them is that maintenance is huge, and it's there for a reason. And so making sure that you understand, okay, well, my autoclave keeps breaking down and I don't know why. Well, it's probably because you've missed multiple maintenance tasks that are related to improving that device, and keeping it up and running. And the information is now there, so you can actually see that that's happening and not second guess that it's happening. So
yeah, it's the idea of being proactive versus reactive. I think that's another really important thing, is like, if I had the ability to forecast, like, and see the future, like a magic ball, like this is your magic ball for sure. Knowing that you can, expect, certain things, and, oh, my technician is going to come next month and change out filters and do things like that. It's already done. You don't have to worry about it. And also that you have increased the life of that product as well without having to purchase a whole new one. That, like, okay, if I currently maintain this product, then I know I can foresee using this product for this amount of years. And so I think that's also something really unique.
Yeah. I'm just excited for this entire concept. I think it's really going to help everyone in different ways. And we're going to continue to learn how we can support the industry and evolve this as well. And I think, we keep talking about it, but it's connecting in every way you can. So I'm looking forward to it. And we are going to start our next episode with having a manufacturer on the show. So we're not going to spill the beans on who that is, but you'll just have to listen in.
Good things coming.
Right, until next time.